Now, this is one of the ones that can be in fat loss, it can be in performance, but I put it in muscle gain because when I'm building, I use a lot of carb powders. So essentially, we got to understand what carbs are before we talk about carb powders. And there's a bunch of different carb powders. There's some that's going to be higher in sugar. There's some that are going to be no sugar, like this one. So we'll get into that. But what you need to know is when you eat carbs, it breaks down in your body as glycogen. Glycogen is the fuel and the energy that your muscles use. So if you cut out all your carbs, think of a bodybuilder. They cut out all their carbs to deplete, and then right before their show, a day or two before, they pump themselves full of carbs so that they deplete the glycogen cells in their muscles, so they're flat and they don't look good, and then they're full and they look fucking ridiculous. So glycogen is what your body uses for fuel when you're training. It helps blood flow. It's fucking everything when you're training. That's why it should be in training performance. And even if you know what you're doing, you can have this if you're trying to shred down. This will help you perform better. Carb powders are going to help get glycogen into your muscles before and during your training session, which is going to help with blood flow and your pump, which is going to help with your strength and your energy. It's why you see a lot of bodybuilders having like a pre-workout meal or like LCMs or lollies while they're training or before they're training. That's all to get glycogen into the muscle. So when we're talking carb powders, that's all it's doing. It's just a liquefied version, so it's quicker digested. So I have another one that's higher in sugar than this one, and I have that pre-workout and intra-workout, and then I'll have this one post-workout. Reason why? Sugar's gonna be your quickest fucking energy for your body and for your muscles. So when I have the extreme carbs, it's, 10, 15, 20 grams of sugar before I'm training and while I'm training. So it's much more quickly absorbed. And I just feel as if your body can actually use the sugar pre and intra workout, whereas you don't necessarily want that post workout. So that's it. I've got my extreme carbs, little higher in sugar, have 2 scoops pre-workout to get in 80 grams of carbs on my way to the gym. I mix that with my pump formula. While I'm training, I have 2 scoops of carbs in a 1.5 liter bottle mixed with BCAAs so it doesn't taste like shit. I drink that while I train because as you're training, if you weren't putting the carbs back in, then you'd be depleting your glycogen stores in your muscles as you're training. But if you're drinking carbs while you're training as well, you're using carbs, but you're drinking carbs, so like you stay full. Right? You keep your pump, you stay full, you look amazing, you're a bit stronger, blood flows a lot better, and that's why the performance is a lot better. Now, because this is 40 grams of carbs, 4 calories per gram of carbs, so there's gonna be 160 calories worth for every scoop. So if I'm having 2 scoops while I'm training, 2 scoops before I train, and then 2 scoops after I train, then that's an extra 840 calories. And that is why this video is not in the fat loss videos. Because if you're having a lot of carbs, carbs contain calories, especially 2 scoops pre-workout, intra-workout, and post-workout, it's 840 calories worth. So if you're trying to lose weight, that's nearly half your day's worth of calories just on liquid. So it's not really ideal if you're trying to lose weight. However, the reason why I said it could be is if you allow 200 calories worth of your total calories to be carbs before your workout, say you have 1.5 scoops before and then 1.5 scoops while you train, it'd be roughly 200, 220 calories. If you allow calories for it, then you're still gonna have the benefits of this for your training. You're also still ending up in a calorie deficit and therefore losing fat. So when you know what you're doing, and this is why it pays to have a one-on-one coach that actually writes up your plans. When you know what you're doing, you can do stuff like this, because a carb powder, it's awesome for muscle gain because you train better, you train more effectively, meaning you do more muscle damage, which means if you're in that calorie surplus, you're gonna build that little bit more muscle than if you just train shit. It helps with muscle gain, it helps with performance in the gym. But then if you knew what you were doing with calories and everything, which if you've watched the calorie videos, you may, then you're gonna be able to continue having it, maybe cut down the actual amount, but you can have 1.5 scoops pre and intra workout and still get the performance benefits and still be losing fat. So that is Carb Powders. Very good supplement, especially if you're trying to bulk and put on size. Like, it's just an easy way to get in an extra, 200, 300 grams of carbs, as opposed to just eating more and more rice or pasta or rice cakes, whatever. It's just a very good way to get calories in, but also help your performance, help your muscle gain. And if I get a client that's never actually used it before, I get very excited because they're about to have the best training sessions of their life because they're actually giving their body what it needs when it fucking needs it. So that is Carb Powders.